You're not talking about this, this statistic, Joe. I want to tell you this statistic, this small statistic. You signed a globalist compact of immigration with Barack Obama. God bless President Trump that he did not sign it. And then Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, this leftist socialist wannabe dictator president that we have, signed the globalist compact of immigration. And also Trudeau in Canada signed this globalist compact of immigration, suffocating the United States of America with an influx of migrants, with a strategy to break the system and to also open the borders. Why you were not talking about that, Joe? And in all this enormous influx of migrants, there's a lot of violence. There's a lot of delinquents. There's a lot of rape. There's a lot of trafficking of cocaine, there's a lot of trafficking of organs, and there's a lot of trafficking of children, and there's a lot of trafficking of humans. Do you forgot about do you know about this statistic, Joe? Let me just tell you this little factor that you forgot about in the debate. You want people to migrate to your country, right, Joe? Because it's a necessity and it's a refugee, it's a necessity. Right? Do you know that Mexico is #1 for cartel activity, Joe? #2 for killings of women in Latin America, and #2 for trafficking of children in Latin America, #4 for trafficking of humans in Latin America, and #5 for clandestine bearings in the world, Joe. So, who is the inhuman? You that you're provoking and you're instigating people to migrate through Mexico? Trying to make Mexico a third world secure country when Mexico has more than 60 million in poverty, 28 million in critical condition, 68 million without medical care. More than 85,000 people have been killed for cartel activity in this 20-some months of the administration of this recent president. And you're talking about immigration, Joe? You're talking about trafficking of children? You haven't read the newspaper, how, Joe? You forgot about that. You forgot about how the administration of Trump, yes, probably is separating, but not from their parents, because their parents are not here. That is a fake family that just bought this kid for them to obtain the loophole and to cross illegally to the United States of America, to cheat on an immigration law. And not only that, that kid has already been arranged to be trafficked, to be violated, raped, even sold in the United States of America. Why you don't talk about that, Joe? You don't say anything about that, huh? How are you gonna push an immigration system through a country that is so insecure like my country of Mexico and tell everybody that it can be a refugee? Refugees from Africa, you're provoking people from Africa. We have seen right here, Joe, I remember. Let me just walk a little bit with you, Joe. Let me just walk a little bit with you. Right here, there were migrants of Cameroon, migrants of Ghana, migrants of Angola, migrants of Syria, all migrants from across the world asking for refugee and asylum case. Do you know the top 5 cities for violence and delinquents in the world, Joe? Which ones they are? 5 are from Mexico, Joe. They're not from Central America, I'll tell you. San Pedro Sula is number 15 of the world for violence and delinquents. Why are you not talking about that, Joe? Do you know this little statistic that you forgot in this debate? Almost 72,000 kids have been rescued from being trafficked from an unaccompanied children. 72,000 in the administration of Trump. 4 years, and they have rescued 72,000 unaccompanied children that they have been trafficked through our borders of Mexico. You're talking about border security, Joe? Do you know how many illegal entrances were in your administration? Do you know how the enormous drug and cocaine and methamphetamine and heroin was crossing through your borders at that particular time? Do you remember that, Joe? Or you forgot? You forgot about that? You forgot that in your administration with Barack Obama, you were the one that deported more Mexicans in the history of the United States of America? And that Mexicans committed the crime, they committed a crime mostly that is called illegal reentry. And it was a business that you were doing with private prisons, with the MCC, the CCAs, and the GEOs. So you deported people, and by necessity, they will come back. You deport them, they will come back. You deport them, they will come back. And you will have a great human business with the private prisons, Joe. Do you remember that, Joe? What'd you do, Joe, with all the children that they were trafficking in your administration? I want to ask you. It's just a simple question. I just want to ask you, Joe, what you did with all the children that they were trafficking in your administration. Why the ACLU wants to dismantle the Department of Homeland Security. Do you know why, Joe? That the ACLU wants to dismantle the Department of Homeland Security? Because Donald Trump is hurting their business. Oh, yes, Joe. All these nonprofit organizations and all these liberals that they're coming over here to this place. This place, Joe. This place right here, where you make your business. All these ACLUs, all these people, all these American leftist liberals that they come over here. They're hitting them in their pockets, Joe. Because they cannot traffic like they used to. They cannot make a fake family like they used to. They cannot make a fake marriage like they used to. They cannot traffic children like they used to. I have seen it, I watched it, I recorded, I documented all of it. You're not gonna lie to me, Joe. You're not gonna lie in front of the United States of America and tell everybody that trafficking of children, it does not exist. And our borders humongously exist. You have been cheating. Why you don't say nothing about Antifa being in our borders trafficking children, Joe? Being radical and instigating and motivating people. Just yesterday was a protest, Joe, right here in front, protesting for refugees, Joe. Right there, all the way to the front, Joe. Right there. They were coming over here. United States citizens in Tijuana violating Article 33 of the Constitution, protesting, Joe, of something political in a foreign country. How funny it is, Joe. Foreigners helping foreigners in a foreign country, Joe. Why you didn't say anything about that? Why you haven't said that President Trump has put children in the hotel in the Hamptons in El Paso and also in Arizona, and he is deporting them or returning them back home? And if you're asking why you haven't left what all those 500 and some kids that you're talking about, listen, Joe, right here, let me put a helicopter right here, Joe. This is the immigration helicopter. Do you know which? You know that authority, right, Joe? That is the United States Customs right there. God bless their hearts. You were talking about the 500 and some kids that they haven't returned back, that they haven't been returned back to their parents. You were talking about that, right, Joe? Do you know why they haven't been returned back? Because they're not doing a horrific and horrible job like the Obama administration was doing, that they were returning them and deporting them back to coyotes and traffickers. And the Trump administration, they're actually returning them to their actual parent, Joe. And they're actually working with the immigrational system in Mexico so they can actually take them back all the way to Tapachula, to the border of Guatemala, and return them back to their legal guardian or real parent. Not like you. The 90,000 kids got lost in the year 2014. That all the kids were being returned back to coyotes and traffickers and all these people, Joe. You haven't remembered this, huh? You forgot about this, Joe?